In this video, I'll be going over query nodes. Query nodes are the foundation block in flowframe. To begin, I'll start by viewing my data. From my data source panel, I'll go through my spreadsheets and view the superstore data. Clicking on it shows me the columns and the data types, and I can see an overview of the data. To have a proper look, I'll drag and drop the data onto the canvas, and now I can see all the data per row for all of the columns. By default, flowframe shows you 100 rows per page, and I can scroll to the next page and the next as I like. A quick overview of the query node shows the name of the query node, A1, the source of the data, which is a spreadsheet, and the buttons to toggle between the code and the visual query builder, which will be talked about in a separate video. You can also see the query editor and the result table. From the query editor, I can try to limit the output by 25. And if I click the run query, my data now has reduced to 25 in the output. Each query node has a hovering panel that has quick action. I can double click the name of the query to rename it. I'll try naming this main. And if I click enter, the frame runs and the name has been updated. I have the button to run the query. I can view the query, and currently we have a low score because I have just a few functions. I have the button to add visualization, format query, change the order, and lastly to add a linked frame, which would be in a separate video. Double-clicking a frame automatically pops up the formatting panel. And firstly, we can see how to rename the frame. And if I try that again, the frame automatically runs. And if I change it to main, it also changes. Next, we can hide the query editor, and this works if you would like to use your outputs as a table. First, I'll try to run a new query. This query shows the top customers based on the total sales and total discounts that they received. And I've limited this to just the top 10 customers. To view this as a table, I would hide the query editor and resize the query node by dragging the corners. Now this is a table that can be used as a dashboard. Next, I can format my query node by changing the background color. You can reset, or you can choose a custom color of preference. Here I'm picking a light purple, and then I can reset back to the default. You can also change the text color and take it back to the default. You can hide the border, choose to show it, customize the width and the color. And you can also reverse that by taking it back to the custom. Then we have the same actions from our hovering panel. Run query, can choose to download the query node as an image or the outputs table as a CSV. You can also format the query. To format a query, you can use the query viewer, and a compiled query shows you all the queries, and dependencies work for linked frame, which will be in a separate video. You can see a quick analytics, and now the query viewer is showing median because we have more queries compared to the initial select from limits that was there prior. We have the history. To format a query, you click Format Query, and this helps to rearrange the entire query into a readable format where each command is a separate line. And I can adjust the width of the frame as appropriate. To view a query, you can view the original query, and you can also export the query as a CSV file, SQL file, or a JSON or a Markdown file. And you can also copy the file to be used elsewhere. Lastly, to download your query node as an image, I'll switch to just the table. Now I can download the image and view it. Or I can choose to download the results as a CSV, which shows as a simple Excel table of the output if I want to export it elsewhere. And then lastly, under the data source panel, I can see each frame that is on the canvas. So the spreadsheet shows you all the data under the schema and the tables, and then the frame shows you the name of each frame on the canvas. This has been an overview of query nodes. See you in the next video.